Welcome to the Fredericksburg Center for Creative Arts, FCCA, October 2025 exhibitions with the life, work, and legacy of Bruce Day in the Frederick Gallery and a solo exhibition by Joan Stanton in the Members Gallery. The FCCA is open Monday, Thursday, and Friday, noon to 4, Saturday, 11 a.m. to 4, and Sunday, 1 to 4. We are closed on Tuesday and Wednesday. I thank our videographer today, Riley Munford, a UMW junior student, and she will be posting our video on YouTube for the FCCA. You are invited to visit these exhibitions in person at the FCCA located in the historic Silversmith House at 813 Sophia Street in downtown Fredericksburg. This exhibition is a retrospect in the Frederick Gallery of the works of Bruce Day. Bruce was a native of Southern California, born in 1951 and passed away in 2019. He graduated from California State University in 1976 with a Bachelor of Fine Arts degree in drawing and painting. He exhibited in galleries in California and Washington, D.C., and represented himself since 1982 until 2019. His work can be found in collections around the country and abroad. Working exclusively from life, Bruce's work conveyed an intimacy with the subject lost in much of today's photography-derived painting. His later years found him taking on the challenge of painting and drawing the human figure. The subject matter was perhaps not as marketable as his previous realism subjects, but the challenge to reflect on color palettes, models, and artistic trends were what stimulated his thoughts and art. The FCCA is proud to present this retrospective show to our community and our virtual audience. I want to thank Karen Pritchard, widow of Bruce Day, and Chris Gregson for curating the exhibition. Many of the original artworks are for sale, in addition to giclée prints of his most popular paintings. Now I'd like to introduce you to Karen Pritchard, who will tell us more about Bruce Day and his work.
Thank you, Carol. I'd first like to thank the FCCA for allowing my family to share these works of Bruce with the community again. I also want to thank Chris Gregson for coming to me about a year and a half ago with the idea of putting together this exhibit, as well as his wife Becky, who without the two of them I never would have been able to get through all the inventory, the photographing, the lists, and all of getting this exhibit together. It would not have happened without their help, so I'm truly indebted to them. This is a project that I knew I would have to do eventually. I put it off because I knew it would be a tremendous amount of work, and it certainly has been. It's been, especially the past year, a full-time job of going through all the paintings and drawings in my house, the files, the notes. But I'm really glad that this opportunity came to finally address this, and so I am happy to share what we have selected in this exhibit with everyone. When I first met Bruce, he was doing a lot of very high realism or trompe-l'oeil painting, which was deceiving the eye. He was painting a $1 bill, life-size, that took him a year to paint. Granted, he was working full-time at a job, so it was only in his spare time he could paint this. But he did quite a few paintings like this with money. And this is one that has a $50 bill in it. This also took quite a bit of time to paint. He did a number of them, but then I think because of his eyes, you just had to work so tight with these pieces that he started loosening up his technique a bit after that. But this one is a good example, and then on view also is one called Seven Vices that also has this trompe-l'oeil characteristic to it. Another thing that you'll find in his paintings that he loved to include was drapery, cloth, folds of fabric, folds in paper bags. In these three paintings here, you see how he would always incorporate a cloth or towel or something in the painting as well. And even in the nudes, he would have drapery hanging over the back of a chair or something. So he was a master at that. Another type of painting he liked to do was his reflective series. He loved reflections, painting glass, in this case chrome. You will notice sometimes in glasses he'll have things reflected in them. And he sold all of the rest of these reflection pieces that he did. But this one I'm so glad he hung on to. Because when you get up close to see it, not only is it a fantastic still life, but when you look in the tea kettle, you actually see him sitting at his easel painting this painting. And his studio is around him, and you see other paintings that he had done that are also reflected in the toaster and the tea kettle. So this is a particular favorite of mine. In 2011, Bruce decided to start painting downtown scenes. He would spend days with his easel set up in front of whatever scene he was painting, catching the light. Often scenes would change right after he painted them, but he captured that moment in time. And then from these paintings, he decided he would make a series of giclée prints, which I also have a number of them here that I'm selling as well, of a lot of the prints from the paintings. So it's a little bit of Fredericksburg to see. This painting is one of the last large paintings that he had painted. He started it in 2016, set up the still life in the back of his studio, and his main interest was this shaft of light that comes out through the window. He was playing against how all of it hit the different items. He worked on it until for days, and then the light changed. And so he put it away and waited months until the sun hit that same spot again, and then took up the painting. So it was about 2 years work on this painting before he actually finished it. But he would do that with some paintings. Some scenes that he did outdoors, he would work on them, the light would change in the sky, he'd put it away, and sometimes by the time the light came back to where it was supposed to be, he lost interest and didn't finish the painting. But he did finish this one. But it was, once he did a painting, he would hang it on his wall and then look at it in different situations. And this one was never varnished or framed by him. He did sign it. So I consider it finished, but it is one of my favorite because he's just has so many elements between glass and liquid and food and metal and wood and cloth, and so it really speaks to what he was able to accomplish. He was also influenced by many other painters, some of the old masters like Titian. Edouard Manet was a big influence to him. And in this painting, this was based on a painting he liked by Chardin. Also, when he started painting nudes, He started studying the work of Anders Zorn, whose color palette was what fascinated him in getting the skin tones for a lot of the nudes that he painted. Bruce did many self-portraits, often using himself as his model if he didn't have someone else in the studio. This one I really like because it's his most relaxed. When you're staring at yourself drawing a lot, sometimes your face can look kind of strained. But he did this in his studio with the skylight above, and I think it's a really nice likeness of him.
I want to thank Karen for sharing the life work of her husband with us. It's a wonderful honor to be selected as the gallery to have this exhibition. The video will follow through with a walkthrough of all the work in the exhibition. Please come in and visit in person. Many of the works are for sale, and there are clay prints of some of the downtown areas and other prints you may be interested in. Wonderful gifts, holiday season coming up. So Karen, I can't thank you enough for the sharing, and please let Chris Gregson know we appreciate all the help.
Oh, certainly.
So stay with us for the walkthrough of the rest of the exhibition.
Hi, I'm Joan Stanton, and this is my first solo show, and most of the paintings and photos you see here is what I get when I'm out wandering around on boardwalks, sitting in a kayak, double kayak, and photographing them from that. All the paintings are inspired by my photography. You know, it's just fun to do, and I hope you'll enjoy looking at my photos. Thank you. This particular photo was taken in Chincoteague, and I had the fortune to catch a perfect mirror of this bird. It was really a fun shoot. This is Wicked Itch, and I took a photo of Wicked Itch in Chincoteague, and I was going through my photo, and I looked at this photo and I said, I've got to paint this one. That's usually what happens. I look at a photo I've taken, and I just feel compelled to paint, and that's how Wicked Itch came about. This one I took at Quantico from the parking lot with my camera, and they had just started hatching their babies, and I was able to get a pretty good zoom of this baby being fed by the eagle, and I call it feeding the future, because it's the next generation of the eaglets. This is Morning Hunt. My daughter sent me a photo from New Mexico of this black crowned heron, and on the way up in the car to New York to see my mother-in-law, I painted this on my iPad, and then she liked it so much I printed it and gave it to her.